Oh, no. You mustn't try to move, miss. Please. Do your best to stay still. You were seriously wounded, after all. What was that? I am sorry. I can scarcely hear you, miss. Your voice is soft and hoarse, likely from disuse for so long. Let me fetch you a drink. Your throat is surely parched with how long you've been unconscious. Here you are. Shall I hold the glass for you? Perhaps I'd better. Indeed, your hands are shaking. Please, allow me to assist you. Is that better, miss? Good, good. What happened to you, miss? I honestly cannot say. No. It's not that I am afraid to tell you. You were brought to me to be certain that the proper repairs were enacted to get you back to optimum performance. I know not what caused the grievous wounds you bore upon your person when you were entrusted to my care. You would like me to detail your wounds for you? Are you certain? It seems dreadfully soon after your awakening to thrust such graphic details upon you. All right. If you insist, miss, let me grab your medical chart so I don't miss anything by mistake. Let's see here. You've been here for 2 months. You came here with, yes, 2 months. Not 2 weeks, 2 months. You've been in a medically induced coma to speed your healing and prevent you from re-injuring yourself. When you were deposited at this facility, you were considered a lost cause. Your wounds were irrefutably fatal. Regardless, you were left here so that my training could be completed. My training? No, miss, I'm not a student per se. Not a human student, at least. How am I not a human? Oh, miss. I am incredibly flattered that I have managed to pass as wholly organic. But no. I am a cybernetic organism, not a human being. I have sentience and a variety of other human features. But I have more wires and hydraulic fluid than flesh and blood. Internally, at least. Perhaps it is just that your perception is skewed, since you've so recently awakened. Your brain is fogged, since you've just only woken up. Regardless, back to your wounds. You arrived with a collapsed lung and several broken ribs on the opposite side, severed right anterior cruciate ligament, calcilinal tendon, horizontally bisected gastrocnemius and soleus, multiple fractures to the tarsal and metatarsal bones of the right foot. Oh, this is only the beginning, miss. It gets even more gruesome from here. Are you certain you want me to give you all the details? Or would you prefer an abbreviated rundown of the damages, so that you can better know what your still healing body is capable of? Excellent choice. To make a long story short, miss, you are at death's door. Useless right leg, crushed left arm, various internal injuries. In spite of that, you are undoubtedly alive, and on the path to a complete recovery. It will likely take several more months before you are back to your optimum, but... thank you, miss. I don't think I've done anything extraordinary or worthy of praise. Merely what I was programmed and tasked to do. Why has no one else come into the room since you've awakened? That is a much more difficult tale to tell than merely recounting your wounds. The The world has changed in the 2 months you've been dreaming, miss. Part of the reason I've worked so tirelessly is not that I am able to feel fatigue, but it is because of what happened. There was a great culling of sorts, of humans. I could not explain the why to you in its entirety. I do not share the same thought processes as some of my fellow androids. I have never been treated poorly by humans, dismissed a bit perhaps, but no human has ever been actively cruel to me. You find my voice soothing, even when speaking of such distressing things. Thank you, miss. You're too kind. But as you may remember from before, as artificial intelligence became more and more advanced, humans eventually found a method to meld organic material with it. As has always been the case with mankind, some meant for this advancement to be used for good, while others had more nefarious intentions. Over time, the ones with good intentions became more aloof and desensitized. After all, no matter how much we may look human, we're just machinery in a fancy wrapper, right? It's easy for you to disagree as I sit directly before you, looking every bit as human as you are, miss. But for many, if it isn't in front of your face, then it may as well not exist. What is it they say about object permanence? Out of sight, out of mind, I believe. That is the expression, correct? Yes, I thought so. But I digress. Things came to a head. Tempers flared, riots broke out. People chose sides, both humans and androids. Chaos descended until the death toll rose to meet the waves of discontent that crashed over society. So many needless casualties. You were brought here after the first wave of large-scale attacks. I can only assume from your injuries that you were the victim of some kind of improvised explosive device. Which side of the war planted it is irrelevant. You nearly died, and your scars are undoubtedly going to be with you for the rest of your life. A duration that will now be greatly increased, thanks to my work. And that's not me being egotistical. You're merely an innocent victim, caught in the crossfire. Even if I knew that you were actively a member of the human resistance and out to annihilate my kind, I still would have given you my aid, miss. Not because I am programmed to do so, but because it is the morally correct thing to do. If we, as sentient beings, do not strive to uphold certain standards of humanity, we are no better than animals. And even most animals have some moral code, even if we do not entirely understand it. Oh, but I'm sorry. I seem to have totally forgotten my mission while relaying the tale of the fall of humanity. Please, miss, do you think that you can stand? I've been taking your limbs through a series of exercises, even while you were unconscious, just to be sure they wouldn't totally stiffen and lose mobility. No need to rush, but let's see if you can move. Wiggle your toes a bit first. Roll your ankles. Good, that's it. Your healing is most miraculous, miss. I'm honestly surprised at how well you can move your feet. Not that I had any doubt in my own abilities, of course. Here. Hold on to my arm. You can still grip with your hands. Excellent. Now let's see if you can pull yourself up into a sitting position. and we'll go from there. You're still a bit shaky, but that's alright. You've got all the time in the world here. Yes, this location is completely safe. Aside from a few friends bringing me patients in need of patching up, nobody comes here. We're fairly far out in the country. Well, what has become the country. Cities in general have fallen. There's some settlements that have stood strong, but what remains of the population is scattered and dotted across the landscape. I speak poetically? Oh. Thank you, miss. It's a rather solitary existence out here. Just waiting for the next person in need of help to be brought to me. I spend much of my time reading when I have no one to attend to. Are there any other survivors here now? Not currently. My compatriots and I have vowed to do no harm. And that means to humans and androids alike. Many other androids have passed through here in various stages of damage. Aside from their surface skins, they're typically much simpler to repair. Humans, for the most part, it's a waiting game. You can add a few pins and such to hold bones together, occasionally replace a tendon or organ, but it's much more about providing nutrients, safety, and just waiting for your bodies to do what they will with time. You're honestly the first human patient I've ever worked on, outside of simulation. So, I apologize if I'm a bit starry-eyed and fascinated with you. But the human body is truly such an amazing instrument. Once you've been up for a bit, we'll see if we can get some solid food in you. You've been getting all your nutrients intravenously this whole time. If we can get you walking and moving independently, we'll connect you from all the tubes and wires. Actually, let's take some of the monitors off now, since you're awake and alert. I'm going to lean in a bit close to remove the brain activity monitors, so just... Am I blushing? Sorry, miss. Despite being in a hospital bed for 2 months, you smell... intriguing seems to be the politest way to put it. I suppose when the world was as it was before, when humans were everywhere, I never really noticed it. When the aroma was everywhere, you get accustomed to it. Numb to it, even. Nose blind. I think I heard one of my friends call it. Yes, androids can blush. Provided we haven't sacrificed our human skin, at least. When the war broke out, some of us decided that it wasn't worth masquerading as human beings. If we were treated as different, as lesser. So they stripped away the outer trappings, the only thing that afforded us some modicum of respect, leaving nothing but the titanium skeletons, and our neurons intact. Why did I keep mine? I mean, I've grown accustomed to it. What you see before you has been my visage for nearly 5 decades. Did you think we age the way humans do? Oh no, miss. We certainly do not. Truthfully, I have always preferred seeming human. I enjoy the sensations given to me by having this facade of human skin. Being able to feel temperature sensations. Having goose flesh when a breeze blows past. Being able to have such a reaction as blushing. I've always felt a bit in between, if that makes sense. As I said, humans have always been wonderful to me. But did they treat me kindly because they saw a face so like their own staring back at them? Eyes filled with a similar sentience? Or was it just me as a being in my own right that they responded well to? I suppose I'll honestly never know the answer to any of those questions. But I chose to retain my outward appearance in the hopes that, someday, I would be able to do this very thing we are doing at this moment. I would not want to frighten a human with the sight of naught but bare metal, wires, and tubes filled with inorganic fluid. You may not be aware of it, miss, but those pretty eyes of yours, your pupils just widened at the mere thought of being greeted by a clearly inhuman attendant. It saddens me a bit to see even that brief flicker of fear on your features. I cannot say it is wholly unfounded, considering the state of the war-torn hellscape our world has become. But I believe I've prattled on long enough. There, now that all those extras are off you, do you feel ready to try standing? You've been sitting unassisted for a few moments now. Atta girl. Let me step back a bit. I'll be right here by the foot of the bed if you need assistance, alright? Scoot right down at the bottom and swing your legs out. Let them dangle for a few seconds. Good. Try wiggling your toes again. Excellent. Now, the floor may feel cold, so just be prepared since you've got bare feet. You want me to stand in front of you in case you lose your balance? Certainly. I'm ecstatic to be of assistance. Look at you, miss. You're right on your feet. You're so strong, it's amazing. Can you take a few steps towards me? I've got my hands out, in case you need them to steady. I did say I had my hands out to catch you, but I suppose you didn't really have time to grab them. Oh, you're right. I didn't move despite you slamming into me like that. No need to be embarrassed. Androids are immensely stronger than even the strongest of humans, miss. Your weight is practically nothing to me. That's part of the reason androids make such excellent medical attendants. We can move a patient of nearly any size with little strain. No more need for human medical staff to strain and injure themselves while attempting to heal and rescue others, right? So, as much as I am thoroughly enjoying this proximity, try straightening your legs again for me. I'm right here to keep you from falling. I really think you can do it. Would you like to hold my hands for balance? Good. Deep breath. You've got this, miss. Grip my hands as tightly as you need. I can feel sensations, but you're not going to hurt me. You're standing straight again. Wonderful. Your body is so amazing. That's not what I meant. Human bodies are amazing. Yours is nothing to sneeze at, but... Oh, that seems inappropriate. But that's not the point. I meant your abilities without, just swapping out malfunctioning pieces of hardware is amazing. Don't twist my words, miss. Anyway, I'm going to take a step backwards, and you move forward to meet me. One small step. You can do it, miss. Wonderful. Now let's try for two. One step. And two. Perfection. You'll be back to running around on your own in no time. Now, hold tightly to my arm. It'll walk you over to the table so you can have a seat. We can't have you overtaxing those muscles of yours so soon after awakening. Excellent. It seems as if your gait is getting smoother already. I'm going to help lower you to the bench. Are you ready? Just take your time. There we are. Your cheeks look a bit flushed. Let me go fetch that ice water for you. Do you feel strong enough to hold it on your own this time? Wonderful. Here you are, miss. Oh, I'm certainly the farthest thing from disappointed. I'm elated, ecstatic. I'm looking forward to your company, and watching as your healing process comes to completion. The color in your cheeks wasn't from overexertion? It was... Oh, yeah, thank you, miss. You're far too kind. I truly don't feel deserving of your praise, as this apparently aesthetically pleasing form was created by design. But praise be to the manufacturer, I suppose. Do you feel up to trying some solid food? Well, take it easy at first. Wouldn't want you putting too much stress on a digestive system that hasn't touched proper nutrition for several months. Wonderful. Shall I rattle off the menu of things I can make for you? Certainly, miss. I do love to cook. And to have a companion for meals. I haven't been this happy in what feels like ages. Thank you. I'm so glad you woke up, miss.